Hi guys, so this is Shubhadeep. I am a cloud application developer as well as Python developer and data scientist. So this is my small mini project, you can say, of deploying a Python Telegram bot application in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. This is going to be comprising of very simple steps I'm going to walk through. So let me quickly go to the cloud Oracle website. So when you log into your cloud instance, so you will get a free tier account which has limited resources. So you can go to the navigator here, go to compute, go to instances. I'm going to create a quickly an instance. So let this be the default configuration, which is for a free tier instance. So it will be a Linux image of micro shape, one OCPU, memory 1 GB. Okay. I'm just going to upload my public key so that I can SSH from my system. So there I go. I'm going to create this. So I'm going to wait for this to come up. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you the resources that I'm going to use for this configuration. So I have my putty application here. Let me just open the new session of putty. Not this one. Yeah. So I hope you can see my putty application. I think not. So let me go here. So you can see this is the putty application. So I can SSH here. Using this, I need to go here and change my URL or host name. I need to also give I can give my username in here, auto login user. So I'll give OPC, which is here, this here, and then I have my authentication private key, which is basically I have created from the puttygen using my private key. So I have uploaded here this private key, and that's it. So now I'm going to just open this. Sorry, I think I made some mistake. Let me just recheck that. So I have my, I think it didn't save this. Save this. SSH, yes. Now it's all good. I'm going to log in as OPC user. So I am connected to the particular instance, this Oracle Cloud Infrastructure instance. I'm now SSH'd into it. So the next thing is I have to install GitHub, like git commands. So I'm going to install this. While this gets installed, I'll go through the other things. So when I set up this instance, I got a public IP address of this instance. This is in this particular AP Mumbai 1 region. There's one fault domain and one this particular availability domain. So this is running in this particular availability domain and fault domains. Other than that, everything is as like whatever you get out of the box. I think that's it for this part of it. The next part I'm just going to show you. So I have my repository here. So what my next step is going to be is to basically clone this particular Git repository, which has these particular steps. So I'm only like I have only committed the parts that are that should be public. The keys and everything are not here. So if you want to use the same code, you will have to register to the APIs that are there in this particular program and get your own keys for that. Apart from that, there is one Docker file. So basically what we are going to do is, after we have installed Git, which is in process here, so after installing Git, we need to install Docker. Docker is basically a containerized, like you can run an application in a containerized fashion without it being having to be open. Okay, so it will run in its own container. So this Docker file basically we have to define the steps of creating that container and how that container will run. So I've taken the Python 3.9 as the base image for this Docker file. Then we are copying all the files from the folder that we are going to run that Docker build command into that container. Then we are going to install the requirements for that application. So any of the package requirements will get installed from this requirements.txt that is there in my particular application. Then finally, when we are running that container, it will run through this endpoint Python, and this particular bot.py will be run, and that way the bot will be up. So let's see the status here. It's still running. In the meantime, I'll just go through the code. So let me see if my Visual Studio is, yeah. So you can see my Visual Studio. So here I have my code here. So first let me go through the requirements. It's taking these requests, Python Telegram bot, PRAW, which is for the Reddit processing, then YouTube search, which is again for one of my commands, and then this dot environment, which is for the fetching of the secret file, which has all the API keys. So if I go here, I will just go to the bottom of it. I will not go into the details of the implementation. So if anybody wants a separate video of the actual implementation of this application, I can cover that in a separate video, because that will be an extensive one as well. So I don't want to bore you with more details on it. So I'll just give you a gist of the commands that we have incorporated in this application, which is a start command, a help command, a memes command, which is taken from the subreddit the memes. Then you have a news command, which gives you 3 options specifying which space you want news from, which is like a text-based word, and from the country. Jokes, which is from a jokes API. Then we have a weather command, which is basically taking an input, specifying which city you want the weather report from, and you get the response. Then you have a search YouTube, which is again taking a query search, where you can provide, like, provide me a cooking video for mutton biryani or something. Then you have a search code, which is like an API where we have configured like which kind of search you want. Do you want to search by a topic or a programming language? Based on the selection, you will then get an input and based on that input we are giving a response. We'll show a small demonstration on the application once it's up. So in the meantime, this is still running, so we should be up in a few minutes. That is good. So the next thing is we need to clone this particular repository into our remote. So once this is up, once my remote is up, I should be cloning the particular repository. Mind you, this is like the network bandwidth is lower for a free instance, so it might take some time, but this is not actual representation of the actual power of a computing instance. So it just depends on the usage, like the pricing model, the usage, all of these performance factors would matter. Apart from that, I think from a cloud infrastructure point of view, it's a pretty simple and straightforward UI through which you can deploy the whole thing. So here we are almost done with our Git installation in our cloud infrastructure. It's running the final scripts. So yeah, now it's complete. So I'm just going to git clone my repo which has my Python application. So as you can see, now the repository should be there in our SFTP. So I need to connect to my SFTP here. My particular IP address I need to get. I'll just put the host name as well as one more thing I'm not showing here, but it will be to add this private key in your private key file. So this is generated from the Partition application. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to save this. I'm going to rename this as from the previous instance I was just trying it on. So I'll just log in here, and as you can see, this Telegram bot application is there here. So the next thing is I need to copy this .env file which has all the secrets into my remote. So now my .env file is here. So the next thing is to install Docker. So I'm going to run my next command, which is to install Docker. So once this Docker is installed, our 90% of the task is done. Now this whole thing you can automate through a DevOps cycle, which I can cover in my next tutorial if people want to see that as well. But that will be a one-time, pretty a little bit complicated, I would say, not pretty complex, but a little bit complex from this manual approach. But it will be a one-time setup, and you will be able to make changes in your GitHub and just publish it and run the job from GitHub itself to deploy it into your compute instance. So you don't have to log into all of these instances, make changes or anything. So we are going to wait for some time while this Docker installation completes. In the meantime, let me go to the Telegram um, chat. So basically, here you have a bot father application where you can create your own bot here. So here you need to create your bot. There are some commands here. New bot. So this new bot will ask you to give name, and after giving those details you will get an API key which you will basically use for your bot application here. And then you can set your token, generate authorization token, revoke it, set name, set button text, set user picture. All of these are available here. There's a lot of settings that you can manipulate. So finally, here I have my already bot added in my messages. So that process is there, how to add that and all that in this particular link. I'll give you this link in the description of the video, but for the time being I'm just going to go over this very deep. So let me see where my session installation for the Docker is. So it's almost completed. It's running this final script. Let me copy. So in the readme file I have all the commands here for the Docker. So I'm just going to copy this and keep it handy. Once it is up, we will the major part of it is for the installation of it. This is one time though. So once you create the instance, you have these installations that you need to do for us to get the base of that image ready for the deployment of the application. Now this is my method of doing this. So there may be something efficient that you may be familiar with. Please do share. I also want to know if something new or something better is there that we can do. So this is done. I am going to okay. So the next thing is I need to go to the particular folder in which my Docker file is. So I need to go to inside this Telegram bot folder where my Docker file is. So if you see, I have my Docker file here. So I'm going to, I need to sudo run this. So this is going to build the Docker image minded using a Docker file. So this is going to get all the required packages and everything, create the image, and then we have the individual installation of the requirements as well in that image. So this is getting the image for the Python 3.9 base image. So now we have the requirements folder in place. It's going to install all of our requirements for our applications in that Docker image container. And we have almost reached 95% of the requirement. There is just one thing that we need to do after this is to run this container and it should be up. So yeah, so we have it already, the Docker image is there. Now we just need to run this. And I'm going to run this finally. And our instance should be up. So now if I go here and I select any of this command, maybe let me select news, and I see a response. So if I select tech here, will give me the tech news. Now this formatting is from the old Python Telegram bot version. I think this can be made better using the current available functions. So maybe I'll make those improvements, or maybe not. Just this is just a sample use case I was taking. So yeah, everything is working as expected. You can search for any videos. Okay, mutton biryani. Let's see if this finds it. Yeah, it found. And you see, simple mutton biryani for beginners. Now I'm feeling really hungry. So with that note, I'm going to end this video, and I hope you learned something new, or you have any suggestions or any queries, do drop comment. Always welcome to answer any queries. And if you like the video and you want me to make more such videos, please do like and post your comments. Thank you.